All right, so this is the solution to FBO and FBS questions that I had given part of the recent homework. Now, as part of that recent homework, there were questions from FBO, FBS, get equipped to mains and get equipped to advanced only. Now, in this particular video, I have covered the FBS and FBO questions. And I just wanted to focus upon the empirical calculation, empirical formula calculation and percentage mass based questions. So that is why I have focused on FBS and FBO in this particular video. Now, that too between FBO and FBS, I am starting first with FBS questions. So the first question is something which explains the table method that I had spoken about in the lectures. That if you are given the percentage by mass of the compounds of the elements, then how to determine the empirical formula. Okay, now what I have done here is taken that 19th question and in that gone in a step-by-step manner to elaborate the table-based method. So as part of step 1, if the percentage mass is given, then you write it adjacent to the element in the table. If it is not given in terms of percentage by mass, then you calculate the percentage by mass first and then write it in the table. Now, one thing to note here is that the compound given to you is potassium manganate. Now, potassium manganate is actually something that contains potassium, manganese, and oxygen. However, in the question it is mentioned P for phosphorus, but it is not actually P, it is O. Okay, so just make that quick edit and then move on to the step 2. Step 2 is that when you have got the percentage by mass, you divide it by the atomic weight of the element, right? So if you know the atomic weight of the elements, potassium ka 39 hai, manganese ka 55 है and oxygen ka 16 है. So you divide the percentage of percentage composition by mass, divide by that the atomic weight, and you'll get some numbers. That's good. Now, as part of step 3, what we want to do is calculate the relative ratio of atoms that are therein. So what we do to calculate that is we divide these values in step 2 that we have calculated by the least among them. So between these, the least is 0.48. Okay, so what we will do is we will divide the other values by this least value. That will become our step 3. So as you can see, the third column, which we are calling as the relative ratio of atoms. So we divided the step 2 values by the least among them, that is 0.48, and we got certain values. Now this actually represents the ratio in which the atoms are. Sometimes this ratio is something that you might have to round off. Okay, but we'll do that as part of step 4. Now this ratio that you have got, if it is in form of whole numbers, then good enough. If it is not in whole numbers, then you convert it into whole numbers and then do some rounding off that might be required. So here, when you come to the step 4, you have the ratio with you 2.14, right, 2.141 and 4.3. So you just have the whole number ratios here, the simplest whole number ratios, and in this case, you just required some rounding off to do. So this reason why you have to do round off is sometimes the percentage by mass is not completely accurate data, or one of the reasons can be that if percentage mass is accurate, but then in step 2 itself, when we divide by the atomic mass, so these atomic mass are not the exact atomic mass, we have also rounded them off, तो उसकी वजह से थोड़ा सा error आ जाता है, but that is okay. You can round it off to the integers because we know that यहाँ पर whole number का ratio ही लिखना है. So that is the empirical formula that we have got for question number 19. All right. Now before moving to question number 20, 20 and 21, I just wanted to do question number 22 because it seems like a logical next question based on the methodology that we have just studied. Now instead of going in a detailed step-by-step manner, अभी मैंने सब कुछ यहाँ पर table के form में ही लिख दिया है. Now the table is something which captures each step one by one. As part of the first step, you calculate the percentage by mass that is given. Then you divide that percentage by the atomic weight of each element and you get certain numbers. Now amongst them, you notice which is the least. So this comes out to be the least 1.96. So you divide all the values with the least value. So you get the relative ratio of atoms, right? So in this case, we get this as 2.5, 7, and 11, right? This is actually not 11, sorry, this is 1. Okay. Now, convert this to whole number ratio, right? Because 2.5 is not a whole number, so we convert it to whole number, we get it here 5, 14, and 2. So this gives you the empirical formula. Now, this is something which is the empirical formula. However, as part of the question, you are being asked molecular formula. So this requires to now add some steps to our solution. So here it goes as step 5. In order to calculate the formula, you need to do the step 5 and calculate empirical weight. Okay, this empirical weight is the weight of this empirical formula. So as you can see, there are 5 carbon atoms, 14 hydrogen atoms, and 2 nitrogen atoms, so giving an empirical weight of 102. Now the molecular formula will be a multiple of this only. So ये empirical formula है, the molecular formula will be some multiple of this, n times of this. Now in order to calculate that multiplication factor, the approach is to divide the molecular weight upon the empirical weight. Now in this case, when you notice the question, your molecular weight is given to be 102, which is the same as empirical weight only. So that multiplication factor is 1, hence your molecular formula is also C5H14N2. ठीक है. For instance, let's say अगर molecular weight 204 दिया होता, ठीक है, 204 दिया होता, तो फिर ये n का value 2 आता, and as a result then the molecular formula would have become C10H28N4. That would have been the molecular formula, but that is not the case here because you are given the empirical weight and molecular weight, as in the empirical weight and the molecular weight come out to be same. Okay, so these were the two questions based on the table method for calculating empirical formulas. Now let's come to question number 20. Here it is again a question जहाँ पर molecular formula determine करना है, but the data given is slightly different. Here, as you will notice, that percentage by mass data is actually not given. There is not percentage by mass data, so I would not want to, go via the table method. Okay. Now I will want to go. As you can see, it is just a ratio of moles of atoms and all is given to you, right? So I would just want to start with saying that the formula is Cp, Hq, and Or. P, Q, and R represent the number of atoms of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen respectively. And with these three variables, I would want to form equations which can help me relate them, right? So I read the question data one by one. So the first line says that this molecule contains 70% as many carbon atoms as hydrogen atoms. So P, which represents the carbon atoms, is 70% of Q, which represents the number of hydrogen atoms. So hence you got the first equation or the first relationship. Then it also says that the number of hydrogen atoms are 15 times the oxygen atoms. Okay, so the number of hydrogen atoms, which is Q, is 15 times the number of oxygen atoms, which is R. So that is the second relationship. Now there is some more data that is given to you that the number of moles in a gram of this molecule is 0.00318, right? So now moles and mass is given. So based on that, you can determine the molecular weight. And once you do that, you will get the answer to the molecular weight as 314.5 gram per mole. Now, once you get that, you now know from the molecular formula that what would the molecular weight be in terms of PQ and R. So it is 12 times P into Q plus 16 times R, right? As I've written here, 12 times P plus Q plus 16 times R, which is equal to 314.5, right? So this is something which is again a very, three variable scenario, a simple scenario only, and you'll have to do some substitution to solve for the values of P, Q, and R. Now I have not shown the working here. I have directly written the answers for you, which is P equal to 21, Q equal to 30, and R equal to 2. Okay, so that gives you the molecular formula directly. Now, when it comes to question number 21, the information is pretty straightforward. You have been given molecules and mass. Okay, that is the information that is given to you. You have been given molecules and you have been given mass. Now based on the relationship between them, what you can arrive at is molecular weight. Okay, so once you get that, you get the molecular weight to be 307 gram per mole. Now this molecular weight is something which is again for the formula which is XCFN, right? So when you look at XCFN, uh, atomic mass of xenon is 131, and fluorine is 19. Okay, this is the atomic weight of fluorine. So molecular weight of XCFN should be 131 plus n into 19, which is given to you as 207, and from here when you calculate you will get the value of n to be equal to 4, right? So this gives you the answer to the value of n. All right, then moving on to question number 24. Well, 24 is again a easy question. Just do some bit more calculation here. Volume and density is given. Ensure that volume you are writing in centimeter cube, so that when you multiply by density, which is in gram per ml, which is also the same as gram per centimeter cube, the centimeter cube part cancels out, and you get the mass in grams. So once you get the mass in grams, you have been given in the question that the mass of cobalt is 12% of that, so you get that as 193.11 grams, which when you divide by the atomic mass, right, which is given to you as 8.9, you will get the moles, which multiplied by Na will give you the number of atoms, right? So this is the 24th question, pretty straightforward. 25th question is something which is a little tricky to start with. इसमें अब आपको एक गैशियस मिक्सचर के बारे में कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन दिया गया है एंड मोल्स के बारे में आइडेंटिफाई करने को बोला जा रहा है. सो अगेन व्हाट यू कैन डू इज स्टार्ट विद that the moles of NO2 is A and N2O4 is B. Let that be a start. And these are the two variables that you ought to solve for. So you need two equations to solve for them. So what you do is look at the data, and the first data that is useful is the total mass of the mixture. Total mass is given as 100 grams. So for each gas, the mass will be 46 into A, right? This is the molecular weight of NO2. So molecular weight into moles is mass, and this is the molecular weight. 92 is the molecular weight of N2O4. So molecular weight into उसका moles, ये N2O4 का mass आ जाएगा. So total mass is 100. You got the first equation. Now the second piece of data that has been given is the vapor density of the mixture. From that you can determine the molecular weight of the mixture, because vapor density into 2 will give you the molecular weight. And now if you remember the formula for the mixture of gases, like molecular weight is total mass by total moles, right? Now since total mass is given 100 and total moles is A plus B, you got a second equation describing A and B, right? So as you can see from the equation 1 and equation 2, you can get and solve for A and B and get the moles, right? So these are straightforward FBS questions. These I hope helps you to understand the empirical formula based calculations and get an insight into percentage concept. Now let's move on to some of the FBO questions, foundation builder objective questions. Now in that, let me start with the questions that were given in the homework. So there are 4 questions that were part of that homework, 41 to 44. So let's start with the 41 formula itself. Now you have been given percentage mass, and what you are being asked is the empirical formula, simplest formula. Now either I could have gone via the table method, I could have gone via the table method and did the same calculation, or I just choose to use a different approach here, right? So in this case, I let the formula be xp and yq. Okay, so that is the formula here, xp and yq. That is what we are now going to get a ratio of p by q based on the data that is given. Now you have been given that percentage of x is 50%, right? So you use that in the formula, that contribution of x in molecular weight upon molecular weight is 50 by 100. So as you can see, because the formula is xpyq and atomic weight, right? These are the atomic weight that have been given to you. Let me just rewrite it over here. Atomic weight of X has been given to you as 10 and atomic weight of Y has been given to you as 20. So use that to put in the formula that this is the contribution of X and this is the total molecular weight, and you'll get the ratio of P is to Q. So you will get your answer. Okay. Now this is something which is faster than the table method. ठीक है. Although मैंने आपको यहाँ पर explain करा है, explain कर करके लिखा है, इसके लिए number of steps ज़्यादा लिख रहे हैं, but once you will try it by yourself, you will find that this is something which is quite fast. Okay. I have in fact used this same methodology for solving the other 3 questions also in FBO. I'll just pick a formula and solve for the variables. Okay. Actually, not the other three, 43rd and 44th. 42nd was a different type. 42nd is something similar to the class example that we have done. That, this is a salt with a water of hydration, and then upon heating, there will be loss of mass because of loss of water. So the loss or percentage loss in mass is what is percentage weight in water. So we can calculate that as a contribution of water in the molecular weight upon the molecular weight into 100%. And when we do this calculation, this molecular weight ka calculation is slightly cumbersome. Based on that, we get the answer to be 56%. All right, 43rd and 44th mein I'll use the same approach as 41. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is also on the same lines, that I'll let the formula of the compound be IXOY. Okay, iodine and oxygen ka compound hai. And now what I will do is try to work on the relationship between X and Y based on the data that is given to me. Now the ratio of mass of iodine upon mass of oxygen that has been given, so 25.4 and 8, that is as per the data in the question, should be also equal to 127 into X upon 16 into Y. Okay, this is as per the formula. As you can see, it is IXOY. So iodine ka contribution kitna hai? 127 into X, and oxygen ka contribution kitna hai? 16 into Y, right? 127 being the atomic weight of iodine and 16 being the atomic weight of oxygen. So with that in mind, we should be able to get the value of, or the relationship between X and Y, which comes out to be 2/5. That gives you the answer to the question. Right, now let's look at the last question here. So the molecular formula of metal chloride, that is being asked here. So I'll just start with the same methodology. Okay, you can also do the table method. I have absolutely no problem if you use the table method that I just described and get the answer. Yahan par I am just using another approach. So let the formula of the metal be MClX. Why did I choose MClX? Because chloride का valency 1 रहता है and metal का valency X रहता है. So as you know, आपको ऐसे cross multiply करके लिखना होता है, right? ऐसा M का valency X है and chlorine का valency 1 है. So you subscript में M के लिए आप 1 डालोगे and chlorine के लिए X डालोगे. This is something that is taught in junior classes also, like how based on the valence you write the molecular formula of compound, right? So that is what I've used here. Now once you get that, that becomes a starting point. Now you start forming equations using the data that is given in the question. So percentage of chlorine is given as 71%. So this will be the contribution of chlorine in the molecular weight upon the molecular weight. Okay, I have taken atomic mass of metal to be M. So the molecular weight becomes M plus 35.5x. So this is the contribution of chlorine upon the molecular weight, which becomes 71/100. Now based on this, we proceed, and this is the equation 1. Now other data point that is also given in the question is that molecular weight of compound. In fact, it is vapor density that is given, but we know that molecular weight is 2 times the vapor density. So it will be M plus 35.5x is 2 into 50. Right, that's the second equation. Now you solve for the 2 unknowns X and M, and you will get your answer. M, as I said, was the atomic weight of the metal. Right, so these are the FBO and FBS questions, which I hope will give you a good start towards working on this homework, right? If you have not yet done it, and if you have doubts in it, so you would have been able to identify what mistakes you made, and as a result, what are the correct solutions. All right, so thank you guys.